Las Vegas is a city known all over the world for its bright lights, grand hotels, and endless entertainment. It projects an image of incredible wealth and opportunity, a place where fortunes can be won with a single roll of the dice. The famous Las Vegas Strip is a dazzling spectacle of neon signs, luxurious resorts, and fountains that dance to music. Millions of tourists flock here every year to experience this fantasy, to escape their ordinary lives, and indulge in a world of glamour and excitement. This is the Las Vegas that everyone sees in films and on television, a carefully crafted mirage in the middle of the Mojave Desert, promising success and happiness to all who visit. However, just beyond the glow of the casinos, a very different reality exists. This is a side of Las Vegas that is not advertised on billboards or included in travel brochures. It is a world of deep poverty and struggle, where thousands of people live without a home. This hidden crisis unfolds in the shadows of the very buildings that symbolize immense prosperity. While tourists enjoy five-star meals and opulent hotel suites, many local residents are fighting for their basic survival. The stark contrast between the city's public image and the private suffering of its most vulnerable citizens is profound and often shocking to those who look close enough to see it. This tale of two cities is not a new story, but honestly, it has become more pronounced in recent years. The same economic forces that fuel the city's glamorous attractions can also create immense hardship. The promise of jobs and a better life draws many people to Las Vegas, but the city can be unforgiving when circumstances change. A lost job, a sudden illness, or a family crisis can quickly push a person or a family over the edge and into homelessness. The glittering facade of the Strip, therefore, masks a fragile ecosystem where the line between stability and destitution is dangerously thin for a significant portion of the population. The city's geography itself contributes to this stark division. The tourist corridor is a protected bubble meticulously maintained to uphold the illusion of perfection, but move just a few streets away and the landscape changes dramatically. Here, in the older parts of town and in the industrial areas, the signs of the homelessness crisis are impossible to ignore. Tents line pavements, people seek shade under motorway overpasses, and the desperation is palpable. This is the other Las Vegas, a place where the dream has faded, leaving behind a harsh and challenging struggle for survival in the shadow of unimaginable wealth. To truly understand the scale of the problem, we must look at the numbers. Recent reports paint a worrying picture of homelessness in Las Vegas and the surrounding Clark County. In 2024, the official count of people experiencing homelessness reached 7,906. This figure represents a 10-year high and shows a significant 20% increase from the previous year. This was not a sudden jump, but the third consecutive year that the numbers have risen, indicating a persistent and worsening trend. The city is facing a crisis that is growing faster than the solutions being put in place to address it, creating a sense of urgency among local leaders and community advocates. These official statistics, while alarming, may not even show the full extent of the issue. Many advocates who work directly with the homeless community believe the true number is much higher, possibly over 15,000 individuals. This is because the annual point-in-time count can only capture a snapshot of the problem on a single night. It often misses people who are staying temporarily with friends, living in their cars, or hiding in places where they are not easily found. More than half of those counted, about 53%, are unsheltered. This means they are living on the streets, in parks, in abandoned buildings, or in other places not meant for human habitation. The demographics of the homeless population reveal that this crisis affects a wide range of people. While the largest age group is people between 35 and 44, one of the most concerning trends is the dramatic rise in youth homelessness, which saw a staggering 79% increase in 2024. These young people are often fleeing difficult family situations or have aged out of the foster care system with nowhere to go. They are particularly vulnerable on the streets, facing higher risks of exploitation and violence. The growing number of young people without a home signals a future generation being trapped in a cycle of poverty before their adult lives have even truly begun. The data shows a clear and undeniable trend. The safety net for the most vulnerable people in Las Vegas is failing. Each number represents a human being with a personal story of loss, hardship, and struggle. The 20% year-on-year increase is not just a statistic, it represents thousands of new faces on the streets, each searching for a safe place to sleep at night. This rising tide of homelessness is a direct challenge to the community's conscience and a call to action that is becoming more difficult to ignore with each passing year, as the evidence of the crisis becomes more visible throughout the valley. There is no single reason why someone becomes homeless in Las Vegas. Rather, it is usually a combination of factors that creates a perfect storm of instability. One of the biggest drivers of the crisis is the severe lack of affordable housing. The city has grown rapidly, but the construction of homes for low-income residents has not kept pace. For every 100 families with extremely low incomes who are looking for a place to rent, only 14 affordable and available units exist. This extreme shortage drives up rental prices, forcing many people to spend well over 30% of their monthly income just to keep a roof over their heads, leaving them with very little money for food, healthcare, and other necessities. Economic instability is another major pathway to homelessness. The Las Vegas economy is heavily reliant on the tourism and hospitality industries, which can be volatile. When the economy slows down, jobs in hotels, casinos, and restaurants are often the first to be cut. For about 2/3 of the homeless population, unemployment was the direct cause that led them to the streets. The end of the eviction moratoriums that were put in place during the COVID-19 pandemic also had a devastating effect. Many families who had fallen behind on their rent suddenly faced eviction, and with the high cost of housing, they had nowhere else to go. Beyond economic factors, personal struggles with mental health and substance addiction play a significant role. Life on the streets is incredibly stressful and traumatic, which can worsen existing mental health conditions or lead to new ones. Similarly, some people may turn to drugs or alcohol as a way to cope with the pain and hopelessness of their situation. For others, addiction was the primary issue that led to the loss of their job, their relationships, and their home. These are not character flaws but serious health issues that require compassionate care and treatment, which are often difficult to access for someone without housing or medical insurance. Finally, a lack of a strong support system can make all the difference. Many people who end up homeless have experienced significant trauma, sometimes starting in childhood, or have become estranged from their families. When a crisis hits, like a job loss, a medical emergency, or an eviction notice, they have no one to turn to for help. Without the safety net of family or friends who can offer a temporary place to stay or financial assistance, a single setback can quickly spiral into a full-blown crisis. This social isolation leaves people to face their struggles alone, making it much harder to find a way back to stability. Life on the streets of Las Vegas is a relentless battle for survival, defined by constant uncertainty and exposure to harsh elements. The desert climate, which tourists might find exciting for a short holiday, is a formidable adversary for those without shelter. In the summer months, temperatures regularly soar above 110 degrees Fahrenheit, or 43 degrees Celsius. The scorching sun beats down on the concrete and asphalt, creating a dangerous urban heat island effect. Finding shade and water becomes a life-or-death task. Without relief, people are at high risk of dehydration, heat stroke, and severe sunburn, making the summer a season of extreme danger and discomfort. When winter arrives, the challenges change, but do not disappear. While Las Vegas is known for its heat, the desert nights can become dangerously cold, with temperatures often dropping to near freezing. For someone sleeping on a thin piece of cardboard or a worn-out blanket, the cold can be just as deadly as the summer heat. Hypothermia is a constant threat, and the lack of warm clothing or a safe place to sleep indoors puts thousands of lives at risk. The extreme weather at both ends of the spectrum means there is no season of rest. Survival is a year-round, 24-hour-a-day job that takes a heavy toll on a person's physical and mental health. The daily routine for many homeless individuals involves a long and often fruitless search for basic resources. This can mean spending hours waiting in line at a day shelter for a meal or a chance to take a shower. Emergency shelters in the city are almost always full, with long waiting lists for a bed. Many people report arriving at a shelter early in the morning only to be told there is no space, forcing them to spend another night on the streets. This constant uncertainty and rejection is emotionally draining and reinforces a feeling of hopelessness, making it difficult to focus on long-term goals like finding a job or permanent housing. Beyond the physical hardships, there is the constant threat to personal safety. People living on the streets are highly vulnerable to theft, assault, and harassment. Their belongings can be stolen while they sleep, and they often have to be on guard against violence. The implementation of public camping bans in Las Vegas and surrounding cities has added another layer of stress. These laws make it a misdemeanor offense to sleep in public spaces, leading to fines, citations, and sometimes arrest. This forces people to constantly be on the move and to hide in more remote and dangerous places, pushing them further into the margins of society. Beneath the bustling streets and glittering casinos of Las Vegas lies a hidden and dangerous world, a vast network of flood control tunnels. These dark concrete channels stretch for hundreds of miles under the city, designed to protect it from rare but powerful flash floods. For an estimated 1,200 to 1,500 people, these tunnels have become a place of last resort, a refuge from the dangers of life on the surface. Known informally as the Mole People, these residents have created makeshift homes within the storm drains, seeking shelter from the extreme weather and the constant pressure from law enforcement that they face in public spaces. Life in the tunnels is a trade-off, exchanging one set of dangers for another. The primary and most terrifying risk is the very purpose of the tunnel's flash floods. A sudden desert downpour miles away can send a powerful wall of water rushing through the drains with little to no warning. These floods are incredibly destructive, capable of washing away people and all their belongings in an instant. The residents live with this constant threat, listening for the sound of rain and knowing that their subterranean homes could become deadly traps at any moment. This ever-present danger adds a layer of anxiety to an already precarious existence. Beyond the risk of floods, the tunnels present serious health hazards. They're dark, damp, and completely unsanitary. There are no toilets or running water, and the stagnant air is filled with the smell of refuse and mold. These conditions are a breeding ground for diseases, and insects and other pests are a constant problem. Inhabitants are at risk of infections, respiratory problems, and other illnesses spread by the unhygienic environment. Despite these grim conditions, many residents say they prefer the relative privacy and sense of community they find in the tunnels to the chaos and exposure of the streets above. Despite the immense challenges, a sense of community and resilience can be found among the tunnel dwellers. People look out for one another, sharing food, supplies, and information about potential dangers. Charitable organizations, such as the Shine a Light Foundation founded by Robert Banghart, have made it their mission to reach out to this hidden population. Volunteers venture into the tunnels to provide crucial support, including food, water, medical supplies, and counseling. They offer a connection to the outside world and a pathway to services like addiction treatment and housing, providing a glimmer of hope in one of the darkest corners of the city. One of the most significant but often invisible barriers faced by people experiencing homelessness is the social stigma attached to their situation. Many people hold negative stereotypes and misconceptions about why individuals end up on the streets. They might assume that everyone who is homeless is lazy, addicted to drugs, or has made poor life choices. This kind of judgment overlooks the complex structural issues, such as the lack of affordable housing and unstable job markets, that are the true root causes for the majority of the homeless population. This stigma creates a wall of misunderstanding between the housed and unhoused communities. This negative perception has real-world consequences that make it much harder for someone to escape homelessness. When the public views homelessness as a personal failing rather than a societal problem, there is less support for policies and programs that could actually solve the crisis. This can lead to a focus on punitive measures, such as laws that criminalize sleeping in public rather than compassionate solutions like building more supportive housing or expanding mental health services. The stigma essentially blames the victim, ignoring the systemic failures that left them with no other options and creating a cycle of punishment instead of support. For the individual experiencing homelessness, this judgment is a daily burden that erodes their self-esteem and sense of worth. Being ignored, looked down upon, or treated with fear and suspicion by passers-by is a deeply dehumanizing experience. This constant social rejection can lead to feelings of shame, isolation, and hopelessness, making it even more difficult to muster the confidence and energy needed to seek help or apply for a job. When society treats you as if you are invisible or worthless, it becomes incredibly challenging to believe that you deserve a better life or that you have the ability to achieve it. Overcoming this stigma is a crucial step towards creating meaningful change. It requires public education to shift the narrative around homelessness from one of individual blame to one of community responsibility. Sharing the personal stories of those who have experienced homelessness can help to build empathy and show that it can happen to anyone. When people understand that homelessness is often caused by a health crisis, a job loss, or an unaffordable rent increase, they are more likely to support compassionate and effective solutions. Changing hearts and minds is just as important as building new shelters or funding new programs. For someone trying to escape homelessness in Las Vegas, finding help can feel like navigating a complicated and confusing maze. While there are many dedicated charities and government agencies working to provide assistance, the system of support is often described as fragmented. Services are spread out across the city, and a person might have to travel to one location for a meal, another for a shower, a third for medical care, and yet another to apply for housing assistance. This lack of a centralized system creates significant barriers, especially for those who lack transportation, are physically unwell, or are struggling with mental health challenges. Emergency shelters are the front line of the support system, but they are overwhelmed by the sheer scale of the need. It is a common sight to see long queues of people waiting outside shelters for hours, hoping for one of the few available beds for the night. The demand far exceeds the supply, and shelters are consistently full. This reality means that even for those who actively seek shelter, there is no guarantee they will find it. This daily uncertainty adds to the stress and instability of life on the streets, leaving many with no choice but to find a place to sleep in a park, under a bridge, or in a vacant lot. Local nonprofit organizations play a vital role in filling the gaps in the system. Groups like the Shine a Light Foundation work tirelessly to provide direct services to those in need, wherever they are. These organizations bring food, water, clothing, and medical supplies directly to people living on the streets and in the flood tunnels. They also offer crucial human connection, providing counseling, addiction support, and a listening ear. The leaders and volunteers of these groups are often the most trusted source of help for the homeless community, building relationships based on respect and consistency that are essential for guiding people towards long-term solutions. However, the efforts of these nonprofits are often hampered by shifting policies and inconsistent funding. In late 2025, a major overhaul in federal policy under the Trump administration moved funding away from the Housing First model, which prioritizes getting people into permanent housing quickly. The new policy redirected funds towards transitional programs that require employment or addiction treatment as a precondition for housing. This change created immense uncertainty for local service providers, with experts projecting that nearly 1,200 Nevadans could lose their housing. Such policy shifts at the federal level can disrupt local efforts and leave the most vulnerable people in a state of limbo. Despite the immense challenges, there is a determined effort within the Las Vegas community to build new and effective solutions to the homelessness crisis. One of the most promising recent developments is the creation of permanent supportive housing projects. A key example is the Sun Haven Apartments, which opened in the eastern part of the city in February 2026. This 50-unit complex, developed by Ovation Development, was specifically designed to provide homes for extremely low-income individuals who are at high risk of homelessness. It represents a critical shift towards providing not just a temporary bed, but a stable and permanent place to live. What makes projects like Sun Haven so effective is that they combine housing with comprehensive support services. The complex is more than just an apartment building. It is a community designed to help residents heal and rebuild their lives. Through partnerships with organizations like UNLV Health and WestCare, residents have on-site access to social workers, medical care, and addiction treatment services. This integrated approach addresses the root causes of homelessness, rather than just the symptom of being without a home. By providing this wraparound support, such projects give residents the tools and stability they need to maintain their housing and thrive long-term. On a much larger scale, the community is embarking on an ambitious project called the Campus for Hope. Currently under construction and expected to open by 2028, this 22-acre campus aims to completely transform the way homeless services are delivered in Las Vegas. The goal is to consolidate the city's fragmented support system into one centralized location. The campus will feature 900 beds and offer a comprehensive range of services, including behavioral health treatment, substance use programs, job training, and housing assistance. This one-stop shop model is designed to make it much easier for people to access the help they need. This monumental effort is being funded through a powerful public-private partnership. The state of Nevada has committed $100 million to the project, which is being matched by contributions from the city's major resort companies. This collaboration between the government and the private sector demonstrates a shared commitment to addressing the crisis. The Campus for Hope represents a significant investment in the community's future, and a belief that a more coordinated and compassionate approach can make a real difference. It is a bold statement that Las Vegas is ready to move beyond temporary fixes and build a lasting infrastructure of care and support. As we look towards the future, the path for Las Vegas in addressing its homelessness crisis is filled with both hope and significant obstacles. The new initiatives, like the Sun Haven Apartments and the ambitious Campus for Hope, signal a powerful commitment from local leaders and the community to create lasting change. These projects are built on the understanding that simply managing homelessness is not enough. The goal must be to end it by providing stable housing and comprehensive support. This forward-thinking approach offers a genuine reason for optimism and suggests a future where fewer people are left to suffer on the streets. However, these positive steps are being taken against a backdrop of continuing challenges. The severe shortage of affordable housing remains the single biggest hurdle. As long as rents continue to rise faster than wages, and the supply of low-income housing remains critically low, people will continue to be pushed into homelessness. The success of new housing projects will depend on the community's ability to scale up these solutions and create thousands more affordable units. Without a systemic fix to the housing market, even the best-intentioned programs will struggle to keep up with the constant flow of newly homeless individuals. Furthermore, the legal and political landscape adds another layer of complexity. The 2024 Supreme Court decision, allowing cities to enforce bans on public camping, has emboldened local governments to adopt more punitive measures. While proponents argue these laws are necessary to maintain public order, critics contend that they criminalize poverty without solving the underlying problem. This approach can push homeless individuals further into the shadows, making it harder for outreach workers to connect with them and provide assistance. The tension between enforcement and support will continue to be a central debate in the city's response to the crisis. Ultimately, the future of homelessness in Las Vegas hangs in the balance. The city stands at a crossroads, with one path leading towards a more compassionate and effective system of care, and the other towards greater division and hardship. The outcome will depend on the sustained will of the community, the collaboration between public and private sectors, and a shared recognition that the well-being of every resident is connected. The bright lights of the Las Vegas Strip will only shine with true integrity when the city ensures that no one is left to live in its shadow, forgotten and without hope.